What's good, y'all? Elevated here. About to start a new type of content on my channel. Um, Wanted to get more into automotive, so I figured the perfect first video would be. I figured the perfect first video would be how to do an oil change. You know, that's the most basic form of maintenance that you could do to keep your car running. So at the end of the day, if you learn how to do it yourself, you could save quite a bit of money. So to put in perspective, Trisha Nicole, she said she paid $95 for an oil change, and that's after a $17 off coupon. So if you think about it, that's $112. And I'm pretty sure when you go to get your oil change, they always try to upsell you, try to make some extra money on the side. Please forgive the dogs. Like, the dogs was quiet until I decided to come out and start recording. But at the end of the day, think about it. $95, right? So I paid 21 dollars for this full synthetic motor oil. Oil filter was about close to $8. So all in, I'm under $30. Sound a whole lot better to me. But yeah, let's get into the video. Oil changes are really simple, really easy to do. It was the first thing that I learned how to do when I started working on cars. And another thing, the reason why I don't like taking my car to get oil changes from like quick lubes and stuff like that. When I was 20 years old, I was going to trade school for automotive. If you know about Lincoln Technical Institute, I was a student there, and it was like my third day of school, and I had a '93 Honda Civic. This was way back in the days, but I had a '93 Honda Civic that I went to a quick lube place. They changed my oil maybe like a week prior. I'm on my way to school, and my oil drain bolt fell out of the oil pan while I was on the highway. And so, that motor was kaput. And being a broke student, obviously I couldn't afford to replace that engine in that car. So ever since then, I've literally done almost all my oil changes, with the exception of the one time I had just bought a 3-year-old Honda Accord from a Honda dealership, and they do their service. And once again, the oil drain pan bolt had fell out. Luckily, in that instance, I had caught it while the oil was like actually seeping out of the engine, and I was, cognizant enough to shut my car off before I did too much damage. I didn't do any damage actually, but yeah, I've had bad experiences, so I figured, you know, with a little bit of effort, if anything goes wrong, at least I could blame myself instead of putting your trust in somebody that changes oil, because that is the first job when you enter the automotive field. That's the first thing that a dealership, a lube place, all of those type of places, that's the first job that they give people with little to no experience changing oil. But yeah, let's get into this. So now, first things first, what you want to do, you want to make sure that your vehicle is up to operating temperature, aka the temperature that your vehicle normally runs at. Now, that's going to be anywhere around the halfway point on your temperature gauge. So, once your car is up to temperature, usually people will take it for a drive and then they'll begin their oil change. Or you could just let it idle or whatever the case. But operating temperature, next thing you want to do, of course I can't switch the camera. Next thing you want to do, open your hood. Now, once one side of your car is going to be where your engine is at, the other side is going to be where your transmission is at. So in my particular car, my engine is on my passenger side, aka the right side of the vehicle. It's going to be backwards if you are across seas because the driver sit on the right side across seas. But yeah, y'all get what I'm saying. So on the right side of my car, that's where my motor's at. So now once I go underneath the car, that's where your oil drain pan bolt is going to be. So let's get to it. All right, so now I'm under the car. Y'all don't talk crap. My car is, yeah, I got a splash shield hanging. I don't care. It is what it is. But this is the right side of my car. That that hunk of metal right there. That's my oil pan. So now I have to find where the drain bolt is at. I've done this so many times. There you go. That's the oil drain bolt right there. That piece of silver right in the middle of the screen. So now the next step is to get a wrench on there and loosen the drain bolt. And I have my oil drain pan right there. So let's do it. All right. So my car, that's a 14 millimeter. So you know this phrase, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Since the bolt is facing the other way, I have to push the wrench this way, which will turn the bolt to the left. It's kind of backwards because the car is facing the opposite way. So the bolt should never be more than like snug. So I just broke the bolt loose, drain pan underneath. Oh, this is harder than I thought trying to film this. I'm sorry, y'all. This is kind of awkward. You ever been used to doing something but never had to record? Yeah, that's what I'm going through right now. But I don't know if you can see, but I'm loosening the bolt slowly, and now, bang! Of course, I dropped the bolt in the oil. So what we're gonna do? I'm going to time lapse this. So here's my handy dandy magnet. I don't want to move the oil drain pan because obviously the bolt is not in there and oil can still leak. But all I'm gonna do is place the magnet into the pan. And there's the bolt. What a rookie mistake. But yeah, I got it. So once again, there's the bolt. You want to make sure you clean it off. You don't want any debris because that could possibly lead to or cause an oil leak. So some cars they have a reusable gasket, this little plastic piece. Some cars they're crush washers. You know, you just have to go according to your vehicle and what the specs are. But yeah, let's get this bolt back in. Once again, you see the oil is at a steady drip, a slow drip. That is good because you will never ever get all of the oil out of your engine. It's just one of those things. So you start the bolt by hand. Please make sure you don't cross thread it. You know, you want to make sure the bolt goes on as straight or as flush as possible, which I have done. Now that it's tight, at least hand tight, what you want to do, clean the bottom of the oil pan, you know, from the remnants of the oil that was drained out. And then next thing you want to do, take take your wrench, or you can use a socket also. Um, I don't know. A wrench is just what I'm used to using. You want to tighten the bolt back. Y'all don't judge me. I had to think about that. So now I got the bolt snug with the wrench, and now you just want give it a little bit of muscle behind it, nothing too crazy, and boom, that's it. Now that part is done, that part of the oil change. Next thing you want to do is you want to find where your oil filter is located. Oh, this is gonna be so bad. So now on my car, that's the plastic shield that was dropped. You see that great thing right behind that hose. That is my oil filter with the little black cap. Because I kind of like Frams because they keep they have the little grip. The little black piece on the end is a grip. So next thing you want to do is slide the oil pan. Next thing you want to do is slide the oil pan underneath the oil filter. Now, various cars, the oil filter is going to be in different places. I know on German cars, for the most part, the oil filter is like a cartridge style. Like there's no housing, it's just a filter, but those are usually on the top of the engine on German cars. I know on Hondas, for the most part, they're usually on the back of the engine block. So where the oil drain pan bolt would be, the oil filter is typically somewhere above that. Now those are a little bit harder to reach. Now I have my hand pointed at my oil filter. So of course, up up here, that's my oil filter. So now It should only be hand tight plus a quarter of a turn. This is so hand tight plus a quarter of a turn. So in my case, I'm going to turn it a couple of turns and then it's going to start leaking oil. And yes, it's hot. Yes, that oil is hot. Ooh, wee. Dang. It's okay though. That wasn't too bad. Now, what I try to do is grab a shop towel or a rag or something and try to keep, since my oil filter is pointed up, I want to keep it as upright as possible while I drop this filter. Now there's still going to be some oil, there's going to be oil inside the filter, and just try to limit the mess. So there. So now the oil filter's out. Y'all don't judge me. I haven't changed this oil in about 8,000 miles. So yes, that is pretty that is pretty nasty. So now next step is grab this oil pan, slide the oil pan out. Now the underneath side of the car is almost complete. Have a new filter, oil filter. Double check it. Sorry y'all, my camera lens is dirty. I got the same part number because I bought the same filter. And keynote before you go to put the new oil filter in, they have a rubber gasket, that little black piece around the edge. You want to make sure on the old filter that it comes off on with filter, because if you don't, that will cause an oil leak at your oil filter housing. So this one is intact, so I know I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So it's time to get the new oil filter in. So have the old oil, dip your finger in, and you want to lubricate the seal to the oil filter. That's going to help keep it from actually sticking to the housing, and that'll make removal a whole lot easier. Now, next step lot of people don't believe in it. Some people do. Everybody has their own personal choices and preferences. Since since my oil filter is pointed in the up position, I like to pre-fill my filter just to help with that first initial startup. Doesn't have to be a whole bunch. Just something. Now, let's get back under the car. You see that right there? That's the oil filter housing. Where that shiny piece is at. So yeah, let's let's get to it. Okay. Isn't it crazy that I could do this without spilling oil if I wasn't recording? So I got the filter up there, kind of. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, grab a shop towel, clean all that residue off. Who remembers how tight I said the filter should be? Hand tight, right? Right there, right? That's hand tight. And then a quarter of a turn or 90 degrees. Bang. That's it. So underneath underneath is done now. What's the next step? Gotta add the oil back in. Y'all please forgive me. My my big tripod broke somehow. Again, it is what it is. Not mad about it. Not nothing. So I just removed the oil cap, which I probably should have done a long time ago, like I said earlier. But it's okay. Now, different different engines are gonna call for different amounts of motor oil. Just always remember that. My my particular, it calls for 4.4, but the way that I just use the whole 5 gallon, the whole 5 quart container of oil because I fill up my oil filter. I mean, it's better to have your a little bit overfilled than underfilled. And if I could have found the upgraded filter for this motor, which is a bigger filter, I would have been good. But either way, don't trip on nothing. So now, what I do, I pour a little bit, come underneath, check and make sure. Usually what I do that a couple of times before I go ahead and just full send it. So now back to the example that I gave earlier, right? Do you feel like you could save yourself 60, $70 by doing this? And the crazy thing is, I don't even know if that person uses synthetic oil or not. So synthetic oil, I like synthetic oil because it's supposed to be more like, I don't want to say high performance, but it's like it protects better than conventional motor oil. And you got conventional, you got high mileage, you got synthetic high mileage. Me, I don't touch any of the high mileage type of motor oil. Why, you might ask? Because high mileage oil, it has additives in it, and your engine has seals like valve seals and stuff like that, rubber seals. The high mileage oil, it tends to make your seals swell up, which is not good. So I've stayed away from it. And as you guys see, my car is not brand new by any means. My car has just shy of 350,000 miles on it. And I bought the car 5 years ago with 232,000 miles on it. So, I mean, I feel like the proof is in the pudding. You don't have to believe me. Everybody has their own beliefs, thoughts, systems, and all of that other type of stuff. So yeah. So now the jug is empty. Let's go ahead. Let's double check underneath. Double check. Looks good to me. So now, don't forget, let's take the funnel out. And I've done this a time or two. I've forgotten to put the oil cap back on. So that left a pretty good mess underneath. Oh, why didn't this turn back on? Oh, this editing is about to be crazy. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's start off Hooptiana. Y'all don't judge me. It sounded raggedy. It did. I don't like to start my car with the AC on. Hold on, let's do a sound check. Oh, yeah. Enough of that. Let's make sure. Always look underneath. See if you got anything leaking. That that drip that you see right there, that's water from the AC. Anybody that doesn't know yet, your air conditioner produces condensation, which will equate to water dripping from underneath your car. Well, from out of the compressor. But yeah, I get what I'm saying. Out of the compressor to underneath your car. But yeah, I'll call that a victory. Ooh, listen to that. All right. So once you've added your oil, you made sure everything is well and dandy, no leaks, no anything like that. Now you have to check your dipstick. So it'll be somewhere connected to the motor. So here's mine. So what you do, you pull the dipstick out, clean it off. Yeah, yeah. I don't be petting and laugh at me either. I had to add that clip about checking the oil into the video because my oil dipstick tube is broke. As you may have seen if you watch my moving from North Dakota vlog. Yes, it's still broken. No, I have not actually changed it out yet. But again, I have no problems burning oil on my car or anything like that. So I just let it be. But yeah. So you see the two dots? Sorry. So you see the two dots. One there, one there. So that's your low and that's your high. You want the oil to be right in between those. So it'll be closer towards the low side while your motor's cold, and then it'll creep towards the high mark, after you've been driving or letting your motor run. Last couple of steps. So I know this looks bad, right? But this is a 7-quart oil drain pan, and I usually change my oil every 5,000 miles. So this oil change, I think I went about 7 and some change. I changed my oil right before I left from North Dakota. So that was a 1,700-mile trip, and then I went back and forth to Atlanta a few times. You get what I'm saying? And with me using 5 quarts of oil, that's pretty damn close to 5 quarts of oil. So not for nothing, I'm okay with that. So now all that's left is to get this. What I do, I dump the old oil back into the oil container. So now the thing that you do with the old oil, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the question. All you have to do is take it to an auto parts store, AutoZone, Napa, O'Reilly's, etc. Most of them will take your old oil and recycle it for you free of charge. That's a win-win right there. Now let's do some cost breakdowns. My gallon of not my gallon, my jug of 5 quarts of synthetic 5W30. I paid $21-ish for from Walmart. Walmart is clutch. If I was to buy that from one of the major parts retailers, I would have easily paid $35 or more, up to $42, $43. It's a no brainer for me. Um, the filter, $7, $8. Now, I could have got a filter from a major retailer for a similar ish filter. I probably would have been paying about 13, 15, $16 for. You get what I'm saying? The labor is what did it for me. Hearing the prices of these oil changes nowadays, that's a no-brainer for me. Like, I'm good. Even if I wasn't mechanically inclined, I would go and buy the oil like I do anyways, and I would find a mobile mechanic or something like that to change my oil for me. This way I could watch them and this and that, and if they F something up, it's on them to rectify the situation. But hey, I'm just a guy trying to save a buck or two out here in this nasty economy. I hope this video was insightful. I hope it was enjoyable. Y'all let me know what I could do differently. If anything, let me know if y'all liked it. Any questions, comments, let me know. Drop it down in the comments. I do my best to reply to everybody. And I appreciate your time. Everybody stay up. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Also, right, these mechanics, not mechanics, these quick lubes and stuff like that, they're gonna try to upsell you. Like I told you, they're gonna try to upsell you, they're gonna try to get some more money out of you, whatever the case. So what I'm doing, it's been a while, but it's always good to add a bottle of fuel injector cleaner, fuel system cleaner. I also got this bottle from Walmart. I paid a little over $5 for it. All you do is just add it into your gas tank every time you change your oil. Top off. Quick Lube Play is going to try to charge you what, 60, $70, talking about, oh, we a fuel system cleaner. Nah, keep that, my boy. Just change my oil. Nah, because they ain't going to be changing your oil after this. See how quick that was? $5 as opposed to 60. I don't think y'all be feeling me. Like, it's rough out here in this economy. Like, y'all be trying to, if you got it like that, hey, do you, player? I ain't got it like that.